now, coming to you live from atop the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's the one, the only, Puckle Podcast.
It's Puckle! Puckle! It's Puckle! Puckle! Pokemon Underground Champions League, oh yeah! Puckle! Puckle.
Welcome to another episode of the Puckle Podcast. I'm your host, Trainer Thatch, here today with my spectacular co-host. We got the one and only Seth Vilo.
It is I! I am very tired.
And additionally, we've got Clod9.
Hello! I am also very tired. I don't know. I was trying to mimic Seth. And
So tired today!
So tired today as we are here to record another podcast.
What's that use, my good ears, Sonny?
Turn your hearing aids on.
Welcome to another exciting episode of the Puckle Podcast. Puckle, of course, stands for the Pokemon Underground Champions League, a nonsensical name we came up with in 2007, way after these two were born.
Huh? What?
Puckle, I thought it was Tuckle for tapioca.
Is that them Pokemans?
We talk everything from the Pokemon trading card game to the Pokemon video game and everything in between. We have another exciting episode for you today.
Thatch immediately regrets this co-hosting duo.
This was a mistake. This is a mistake.
I don't. It just means I don't have to record a show today. You guys can record it for me while I'm just sitting here.
Yeah, it's gonna be Puckle, but it's Seth and Claude just doing old man voices for 2 hours.
I imagine you guys would transition to other voices.
Probably.
Not us. We're not known for doing that. No.
No, neither of you are known for doing this.
Well, we commit to the bit and we stay in it hard.
Neither of you say that with a straight face. I don't think you could.
No.
But yeah, we Pokemon. Yeah. Anything fun you guys been up to lately?
I made it to the Elite Four in the Infinite Fusion Nuzlocke I'm doing. That final challenge will happen on July 21st at noon Eastern Standard Time? I think is what I said.
On Sunday? The Sunday next week.
Not this Sunday, but next Sunday. So the Sunday after this podcast comes out.
Yeah.
Is when I will be doing it. Come tune in, see if I make it, or if I have to restart the whole adventure again.
Yeah. Sounds good. Anything fun going on with you, Seth? It's been a minute since we've been on the show together, because I think you've been mostly on the Thatch Free shows.
Yeah, I've been your replacement.
Because I don't think you like me anymore.
It's
because you don't like me anymore.
Don't tell the listeners.
We hate each other, which is why we're not on the show together anymore.
Exactly. We've just been. I know you've been busy, and I've been crazy busy too. I just got back from a conference in Salt Lake City. Hello, Utah.
Yeah. Hello, Utah.
And it's just, I don't know. I've been weirdly busier than normal, and also at the moment I am relying a lot more on caffeine than I should be.
He understood.
Yeah.
Understood.
It's a lot.
Yeah. No, I travel too much and I don't like it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
The ones I do like are the ones where I get to forget my laptop for work. Those are my favorite.
Ooh, those are great.
That is fun.
Those are my favorite.
I only ended up pulling my work laptop out once on this conference, so that was kind of nice.
Yeah,
and
that's nice.
The conference itself was really productive, so that's good. Huzzah.
Those are good ones. I occasionally will not have those because I will just, I don't know. I do I know I talk about this, so I guess this is a new bingo card entry or something. Thatch talks about traveling. And I do have a lot more opportunities than I take nowadays to travel.
Nice, yeah.
And I have to sit down every time an opportunity comes up to my desk and go, but what am I getting out of it if I go? No, I do. I have to legitimately be what do I get if what's the productivity output of me going on this trip? Because
sure,
if it's not worth the day or 2 days or however long it is, I'm just not going to do it.
That's true. For me, it's kind of cool because it's kind of cool for me specifically because even though I've been in the same industry for 6 years now, I'm still relatively new, especially compared to a lot of the other folks out there.
Yes.
So, it takes forever. It takes forever, man.
I've been introducing myself to these people over the phone for many years now, and we actually get to meet in person now, and it's like, oh, They all say, like, oh, you're shorter than I thought. And I'm like, I know, that's the problem. So,
If I had $1 for every time I was told that.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, you both are. Oh, I keep forgetting that because I see you guys occasionally.
Yeah.
And one, it never like strikes me like, oh, you guys are short because I just know who you are. But I keep forgetting that like both of you are shorter than the average person.
Yeah.
I would say I'm shorter than the average bear.
Probably.
That's
actually,
we all are actually probably.
all of us are actually, yeah. Although some of us are shorter even when it's on all fours, but
Yeah.
that's neither here or there.
Surprisingly, though, I think some people are taller when they're on all fours, which is really odd. But that's a whole other topic.
That's a whole other story.
That's called slouching.
Yeah. That's an extreme slouch.
I'm the same height as both Charizard, Aegislash, and actually Napoleon, which by extension means Empoleon.
Oh gosh, this is our new topic for the day.
This is our new topic. What Pokemon are you?
I gotta see what kind of Pokemon. No, so I don't know if I've shown you if you guys were when you guys were in Dayton. Well, I showed Seth this last time you were here.
Uh-huh.
But there's like a Pokemon Center-esque store in Dayton, Ohio.
Oh, yeah.
Called the original 151.
Oh, yeah, and they've got the thing.
Yeah, they've got like but like throughout the store on the pillars, they like have the heights of certain Pokemon so you can like measure up to it, which I think is really funny.
That's such a cool.
Which I think is very
I love
silly.
the little bits like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm technically the height, or I'm in between the height of a Meowscarada and a Blastoise.
Okay.
I'm apparently slightly taller than Terrapagos in its stellar form.
Okay.
Which is shocking. And I am slightly shorter than the length of a Dratini.
The length of a Dratini.
Yes.
I like putting this in perspective is like, I didn't realize Gengar was so big.
Right? And Haunter's taller, I think, right?
There's like some Pokemon that are just like strikingly small and strikingly large. Like Charizard should not be as short as it is.
Yeah, Haunter's 5'3". Like what? Yeah.
No,
yeah.
like Nidoking is 4'7".
Right.
Yeah.
It's a tiny boy.
Yeah, it's very small.
It just wants a hug.
Yeah.
But like Dunsparce is the same height as Blissey.
Yeah, that's length though.
Yeah, they measure the length of some Pokemon instead of the height. Yeah.
Because all those snake things.
Yeah, but like Seismitoad and Crocodile are the same height. I never thought of it like that before.
Just like what? I love it.
Why?
It's like, why is Totem Lurantis the same height as Mr. Rhyme?
I'm almost as tall as Palafin.
Almost as tall as Palafin?
I am almost as tall as Palafin, yeah.
How fun.
That is a striking thought to me.
What a silly topic.
Right?
And part of it's weird because, like, you know, the conversion from metric to Imperial.
Wait. Galarian Weezing is 9'10". What is happening?
It's just the hat.
Oh, the hat.
What?
It's the
It
hat.
has to be the hat, right?
Yeah.
It's that tall. That is very tall.
That is
Like it wouldn't fit in your
Titanic.
house. It wouldn't fit
That's
in your
the
house.
same length of Centiskorch. Like,
Yes.
what? That's the
What
height
is
of
happening?
Xerneas. What?
What? That's also confusing. Well, I guess Xerneas is supposed to be like a tree, so like that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, that I can understand.
I can understand that. Superior is the same length as the height of Kyurem Black.
So Kyurem stretches it out like it's wrestling it. It's the same height.
I didn't
Yeah.
realize that Ceruledge is taller than Armarouge. I would have
Yeah, I
assumed they
think
were the
so.
same height.
No, that
Huh.
would be too convenient.
Just saying, it's like that.
Tallest Pokemon,
This is so
Wailord, of
goofy.
course. Duh.
Of course. Well, no, not any. Well,
Well, unless you... Oh, no, Eternatus base form
Eternatus is even at base. Eternatus is taller, and
is
Eternamax
taller.
is like 4 times that.
Yeah, 5, actually. 5.
5
but yes.
times that. Yeah,
But you are correct.
100 meters.
328 feet. What?
Unless you include the Gigantamax Pokemon. But, like, yes.
Well, even then, I think Eternamax.
Oh, no, I think it's still larger than all the Gigantamax Pokemon, too. You're correct.
Centiskorch is, I think, second with
No,
246 feet
Grims,
Yeah.
no, oh, that's feet. It's feet. It's not meters.
because it's length.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm looking
Yep.
at feet versus meters. Oh, gosh.
Primal Kyogre gets
Yeah.
pretty close, though, so that's kind of neat.
There we go.
I see you.
So-
Good for you guys. Okay, what a weird topic. I don't know how
What
we
a
got
weird
on this,
pseudo
actually.
topic.
Yeah.
Because I said I was shorter than people I saw. That's how
So
we got there.
If you got to this far in the episode, tell us what Pokemon you are based on your height.
Yeah, but
mailbag.
the owners of 151, because mall space is becoming so cheap, because malls are dying across the United States.
Mhm.
They also, they've opened a store above 151, which I believe I showed you guys when you were here, called Nani, which is a bunch of anime stuff. But since then, the California Pizza Kitchen in the mall has closed, and they bought that space.
Oh my gosh, no way.
And they turned it into an anime-themed pizza bar.
Yes, this is great.
That's awesome, actually.
It's actually pretty ridiculous. Yeah.
So to go off that topic, one of the theaters that I perform at, I think starting this year, like they bought an old movie theater that was in a mall, and the mall like offered to pay for like half the renovations because the mall was dying. And since we moved in, the growth of the mall has actually like doubled slightly.
Huh? Wow.
People like, because of 151 being in that mall, make trips from across the country to go to it.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is you're adding foot traffic to the mall, and now there's a new, like, really good restaurants in the food court that aren't just, like, generic places.
The problem I have with it is, like, this just tells me that, like, a brick-and-mortar Pokemon Center, like an official one, would do so well.
It would.
Yeah.
Like, this is not in a high-population, city. Like...
No.
I mean, it's just under 1 million, but, like, it's not, like, a huge city. So you could definitely put this
For
like
sure.
anywhere and it would be successful. The more frustrating thing to me is like they don't do wholesale items to these guys either.
Mm-hmm.
Which is honestly, I think is a missed opportunity on Pokemon's part. But additionally, I don't know how many people are aware, but like a lot of the Pokemon Center merchandise that you buy from PokemonCenter.com is actually gets like shipped out of Columbus, Ohio as well.
Does it really? Are you kidding?
Yeah, so like the warehouse is down the street. Like
Oh wow. I didn't know that.
yeah, if you order a lot of things from Pokemon PokemonCenter.com, watch the tracking. It comes from Columbus, Ohio.
Wow.
Most of the time. Which is why when NAIC was in Columbus, I was like, yeah, that's why the Pokemon Center's here. It's very easy for them just to move all the product.
Yeah.
The warehouse is in town.
Now that it's in New Orleans now, though.
I think it did really well in New Orleans, didn't it?
No, it did. I think they're doing it again in New Orleans this year, right?
They are. They've confirmed that.
Yeah. Yeah, they're doing it again in New Orleans. So they probably also just have like a convention center deal with the New Orleans one, because they definitely had a deal with the Indianapolis Convention Center for a while, and then they had a deal with the Columbus Convention Center for a while, and now they moved to New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure it'll be there for like the next few years. Without any issue. Like if they didn't have it again this year, I'd be like, oh, they're gonna move it around kind of like Worlds.
Well, it's also an easy place to get to. Like,
yeah, New Orleans isn't a terrible place to go to.
There's a lot of flights in and out of New Orleans.
Yeah.
Depends on where you go.
No, I absolutely agree with that. I think the only downside to NAIC being there as opposed to Columbus or Indianapolis is that geographically, population-wise, it was in driving distance for a lot more people.
Correct. And now, well, you have to think about it, though. Like, anyone that's in the South is now drivable. Yes.
Yeah, but it's not that...
trackable.
The density isn't as high as it is around...
No, it's not. Of course not.
Ohio.
But it's also easier for anyone internationally coming in.
I mean, theoretically, it should just be in Nashville. Like, I think Nashville is actually, like, much closer to, like, the population center of the U.S.
Yeah, actually,
that makes sense. Plus, it gives people access via different airports.
Just look wherever like UPS's like hub is.
That's
true.
Where.
No, I'm being completely honest. That is where
I know.
The population center is. But yeah. All right. Well, this has been an intro.
This has been a really
It's been a funky intro today. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna kick it on over to our news segment to talk about what's in the news. So let's cue that epic music.
Live from the Lavender Town Radio Tower. This just in.
Welcome to our news. In the news, we've got a few things to talk about. First being, it looks like TPCI is setting up Powerhouse Pokemon to be the official branding for pseudo-legendary Pokemon.
What does that mean?
Exciting. So, you know, like Pokemon who have like 600 base stat total, like Goodra and Metagross. So TPCI has never called them pseudo legends. Like TPCI has never called them pseudo legends. So what they're calling them now is Powerhouse Pokemon, apparently, because there's some outbreak events happening. with a bunch of pseudos as well as a couple of terror raid events going on. So they are calling them Powerhouse Pokemon currently. We'll see if that sticks. I don't know. Typically what happens is TPCI will eventually like pick up some of like the community's lingo. Like Evolutions was a fan term before it was an official term. And same with shiny Pokemon. Actually shiny Pokemon was actually a fan term before it was they used to be called different colored Pokemon.
They also though just start realizing, oh shoot, this group of them needs a classification by us, or else people will just call it what they want.
Yes. And Pseudo Legends is kind of like not a great name anyway. I'm not gonna lie. Exactly. Powerhouse Pokemon equally bad, but it's fine.
At least there could be official branding for it, because then you get out of the whole situation where Japan's version of what is a pseudo legend is different than what ours is. Yeah. Where theirs is called the 600 Club, basically. So, like, Duraludon and Archaludon is a member of a pseudo-legend as they classify it, but not us.
Which is a dumb problem.
It's weird, but now that they're grouping Powerhouse together, now it's like, oh, okay, cool. These are the ones that they mean.
That's fair.
So, at least that.
Okay. Additionally, for those of you who care, Fuecoco is getting a Build-A-Bear. I guess if any of them were going to get a Build-A-Bear first, I think that's the right one. Yeah.
Yep.
I thought it was going to be the cat.
I think Fuecoco makes pretty good sense. The cat's pretty good. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I only did a Build-A-Bear once, and that was like way back when like Pikachu finally got a Build-A-Bear. I don't think I'll ever do it again. I'll be honest with you.
I bought a Build-A-Bear as a gift for somebody.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever do it again. It's fine. Like, it's a fine experience, and like, if you enjoy that is perfectly reasonable to enjoy. It's just not for me. Just not for me. I'll just go buy a Fuecoco.
Doesn't sound pretty reasonable to me.
No, somebody's gonna be like, "Oh, Thatch hates Build-A-Bear." No, not really. It's just not a Thatch product, you know.
I actually hate everything.
Ugh.
Yeah, actually, that is true. More anime episodes are coming out on August 9th.
Woo!
So that's fun. They're actually like coming out pretty quickly now. When was the last batch? That was like just a couple months ago, right? I mean, was it more or less or 3?
Anime trivia questions.
I hope we do, because we actually do pretty well.
The new anime is actually pretty solid. I do recommend it.
I think it's great. I love a guy's serial anime.
It is serialized-ish, so it's
delicious.
It is Honey Nut Cheerios. You gotta get those. The only thing that bums me out is like they're trying to go track down these like 6 like giant Pokemon essentially.
Pseudo legends, would you say?
They're not pseudo legends, no, because one's just a giant Arboliva. They have to go get them, but we don't understand why they're doing it until like they get 2 of them, and it's just like, okay, so we're already like a third of the way done, and we've already figured this out, so that's nice.
Anyways, there is some Scarlet and Violet news. They heard our pleas for news and gave us the next 2 months of raids and outbreaks. 7-star Pikachu is back until the 25th, with the Pikachu family as outbreaks, including Alolan Raichu, Mimikyu, in the DLC areas. 7-star cool. Dondozo will follow. Then Chest Gimmighoul returns, followed by 7-star normal Dragonite. Gotta go fast, extreme speed. And then Dragonite and Dondozo both remain strong Pokemon in Battle Spot singles. On to the Sentret Watch. This week's Sentret is holding strong at 105. I don't know what the Sentret Watch is.
Oh, the Sentret Watch. This is very funny. Sentret is somehow in the top 150 Pokemon being used on the VGC ladder as read by Pokemon Home right now.
How funny.
It is.
Why is Sentret not for it?
Because of fear. It's using not like the feeling, but because Rattata's in the game.
The fear strats. Yeah, the fear strats.
Yeah, the fear strat.
That's cool.
Yeah, we explained this last week. Yeah, it's just because
wonderful.
Yeah, Rattata's not in the game, so they're using Sentret instead.
That's so funny.
This has just made my day, so thank you.
Yeah, Focus Sash, Endeavor, Quick Attack, Rat, were Sentret. So it's more like a Fees than a fear, but yeah. All right, well, Pokemon Go and TCG, you're gonna wrap us up here, Seth.
You betcha. First of all, there's a reminder that the community day for Tynamo is happening on Sunday the 21st, so you can grab those little guys if you need to. I know I need to. I haven't gotten them. Next up after that, though, Necrozma's fusion forms were given field effects like that of Origin, Palkia, and Dialga. They give you spawns for different times of day for like 10 minutes and give you access to time-based evolutions. So the example they give here is that Dawn Wings lets you evolve Ursaring without a full moon happening.
Why am I not allowed to do
cool.
this? Why am I not allowed to do this in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet? You know, I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah, right. That'd be cool. That's kind of a cool thing. I would love that.
That would be a really cool Evo method. Like you have to have Dawn Wings and Necrozma
right?
in your party to.
I like it as an alternate method, at least. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, the other thing is that the Ultra unlocks for GoFest are a new Pokemon being added for Wednesday's Better Together event, which is apparently Tandemouse being added.
Interesting.
A new Steel Shiny during an event later this month, and a new Mega on the 27th. We don't know those last two, so hang tight for those. We'll find out soon enough. And that's all the Go news, so pretty short and sweet there. The next TCG bit.
This you can tell the news is written by Sigma because of this piece. Like you can tell the news is written
the most important. I'm reading this verbatim. In the most important news of the year, Lilip is getting an art rare in Stellar Crown. The image is a Lilip just chilling in someone's living room aquarium, and there are even Lilip rugs in that room. Honestly, though, there's not a whole lot TCG-wise. There's
we have to wait for Shrouded Fable,
anyway.
and then they're going to start hyping up Stellar Crown, and we'll get more stuff as that comes
Exactly. And we've already gotten a couple of the reveals for Stellar Crown. It's going to look like it's a wacky set. If you have not invested in Hisui and Zoroark Vs.
Oh, I have them.
Get them.
I have them.
Oh,
I have my deck ready to go.
Because I am cooking with some of my local group.
I'm excited.
And that's what we're currently in the kitchen with is Hisui and Zoroark V. So get your guys now.
I think it's going to be a Fringe Rogue deck.
Oh, for sure. But what other thing would I be building, Claude?
You could be joining the Regidrago hype train.
I'm on the Regidrago hype train. I'm not going to lie.
So am I.
I've been on that for years.
I need to figure out what deck I'm going to play at Gen Con for my tournament. I haven't decided yet. I think it's down between Regidrago, Charizard, and some Lugia.
No, just play Regidrago. It's the most fun.
Regidrago, I feel, is the most consistent-ish.
It's the most fun.
Right now, Regidrago, it's going to be in this format still because the tournament's like on the day that Shrouded Fable comes out, so Shrouded Fable won't be legal. But I think it's really, really funny to go around and see it because. I don't know what I'm gonna play. Like Regidrago, I think is the best Dragapult deck in the format.
I agree.
It is honestly.
It is. It's the best Dragapult deck in the format. So I do want to. I
get to judge a cup on Sunday, so that'll be fun. Since that's now how I'm doing things.
All right, now guys, this is time for Wo-Chien's News Corner. News brought to you at a snail's pace, which is faster than most Alolan Pokemon. Don't let Ribombee fool you.
And most actual news.
10 years ago this week, the Deontay movie released, showing Primal Groudon and Kyogre for preview for the next movie, which was the Hoopa movie, which was bad.
Oh, yeah.
That's all that was in the news, apparently, 10 years ago. So, in Pokel's Poke prediction, you may have noticed that 7 Stars raids have been put on hiatus with the remaining the 5 remaining starters being Feraligatr, Torterra, Infernape, Serperior, and Incineroar, who haven't made an appearance yet.
Don't you mean first partner Pokemon?
No, not anymore.
Do you think this group contains the PLZA starters? They do include a Johto/Unova/Alolan Pokemon, like Arceus had. That would also leave the next group to be Meganium, Emboar, and Primarina, and probably no Legends, Johto, Unova, and Alola next. I don't know. I think some of them might be. I could see a world in which, like, Torterra gets some love. It's weird that Torterra and Infernape have been left out, but we've gotten Empoleon. I don't understand. I could see some of those Pokemon, though, making their way. Like, I could see Feraligatr and then, like, Torterra/Infernape. And then Serperior/Incineroar
if I
get into the next
have learned
game.
anything
over
the last few years, It's that we as fans read way too much into anything because we are starving.
No, it worked. It worked well for me though. Way back in like January. And I'll tell you why. Because we did an episode like trying to predict the next thing. In January. You guys can go listen to this. This is a real fact. I'm not lying or making this up. And we were talking about like what games are coming next. And I go, okay, this is really wacky, guys, but I think something Kalos is coming. And they go, why do you think?
Okay.
They go, why do you think that? I go, well, of the legendaries in Scarlet and Violet, we're missing Yveltal and Xerneas. Like when, like, and in what was the one? Crown Tundra. In Crown Tundra, they left out. Of the fossil Pokemon, they just kind of left out Bastiodon and Rampardos. I think this might be the situation, you know? And I'm just like, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's kind of weird that that's what that they did that. So I'm just saying something Kalos is on the menu and nobody else is talking about it. And I don't know why.
You got it right once. You've made 2 points, so you have a line. Yeah. The question is, do you have a trend? We'll find out. I don't know if it's. I mean, I've done this accidentally in the past a couple of times. Never intentionally. Exactly. I'll tell you that. I mean, I also talked about like a Unova game and a Johto game and all this other stuff. When we're throwing things at the wall every Monday, something is going to stick.
Yeah, exactly. So I just say things, and eventually I'll be right. If you say all of the things,
I'm on record.
If there's a multiple choice question on a test, and I circle A, B, D, and C, I have circled the correct answer. Okay.
You have. Yes. Yeah, you have. And we have mentioned every starter.
Yeah. If I mention every starter, those 3 of those will be the starter.
Let me go ahead and let me just get this. Go ahead and clip this soundbite.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually think that Bulbasaur is going to be in ZA as one of the starters, and it's going to have 2 mega forms.
Okay, now cut.
One of them's
and say this about Squirtle. Say this about Squirtle now.
I actually think Squirtle is going to be in ZA, and it's going to have 2 mega forms. All right, and cut.
Yeah, I don't. Well, I think if I. So I think I can process of elimination this if we follow the rules of Pokemon Legends Arceus, which I think is a bold assumption in and of itself. I do see a world where we just like get the Kalos starters, which I think is boring and they shouldn't do, or even the Kanto starters. Again, boring and they shouldn't do.
Yeah.
I would really like to see, so we know that like, I think Kanto and Kalos are just like knocked out because those are available in Kalos as starters as well, essentially. I think you knocked both those out.
We'll understand within the next year, maybe, unless we're asked to please understand.
No. We will know, I think we will know by February, for sure.
Probably.
We will know by February. Which I know everybody, especially the younger fans, by younger, I mean like 25 and younger, because I felt this way as 25 and younger when it came to Pokemon news and being like, yeah, it'll be February, you know, sometime in the next 6 months. And they're like, 6 months, that's forever. And I'm sitting over here like, no, it'll be here before I'll blink and it's going to be here.
Man.
Yeah.
How do you think I've done like 650 episodes of this podcast?
That's how it is when you get older.
Yeah.
Time, there's less of it. So it feels shorter.
It's not that there's less of it. It's just that there's less things to make it memorable.
It takes up a smaller and smaller proportion of your lifetime alive. So 6 months when you're 80 isn't as long as 6 months when you're 20.
All right. Well, that is
Thanks,
our.
You're welcome.
That is our Pokemon news. We are going to kick things on over now, guys, to our Poke Quiz, where we're going to quiz your co-host on their insane Pokemon knowledge.
Oh hi, and welcome to the Poke Quiz, the part of the show where we quiz our co-hosts on their insane Pokemon knowledge. I'm Mark from the Dunsparce Gang, here to explain the rules. Our fabulous co-hosts will work as a team to answer 5 Pokemon-themed trivia questions that fans have submitted on the Discord server. Each question is worth 1 point, with Pokedex and multiple answer questions worth more, for a total of 7 points. The host can use a free hint at any time. If they get all the answers correct and do not use the hint, they can cash it in for an 8th point.
Welcome to Puggle's Poke Quiz. We're going to jump right into these questions. Thank you for that introduction. Our first question is going to come to you from Toga Nick. They ask, which is the only ghost-type Pokemon who can be snagged in Pokemon Coliseum?
Dusclaw. Oh, wait, like Misty. Wait. You can get Sableye in one of the games. You can get Dusclops in one of the games.
Okay.
There's no gas. There's no Ghastly. There's no Haunter. Misdreavus is also, I think, in one of. Oh my gosh, this is gonna kill me that I don't know. Like, this is
Coliseum was
the first one
earlier, right? That was Gen 2.
Gen 3. They're both Gen 3.
Are they really? Oh.
I have to run through the game in my head now.
You do that,
gosh,
buddy.
This is killing me.
I'm here to morally support you.
I think it's one of those three. Maybe Banette is in one of them, but I'm like,
is that snaggable? Is I guess the question.
I think they're all snaggable. And this is just Coliseum, which means the other three are in the other game. And that's what's killing me. Is I remember using them.
Ah, okay.
My guess would be Misdreavus. But
I'm game for it.
But I don't remember because
Are you locking it in?
I would say yeah, but I don't know.
It's either Misdreavus or Dusclops. I think it's Misdreavus because they wouldn't put Dusclops without putting Banette.
Yeah.
So Misdreavus?
And the others.
Let's go with Misdreavus.
Yes. Lock.
Misdreavus is correct.
Yay.
I would comment that this is how I would have made the decision. Is that Pokemon Coliseum was typically made to make up for the lack of Gen 2 Pokemon in Gen 3. And
yeah.
And so it has more Gen 2 Pokemon. XD Gale of Darkness just has Pokemon. It's not necessarily Gen 2. I don't think there's anything that's in there actually that is Gen 2 specific
exclusive.
either actually. I think everything's catchable in Leaf Green and Fire Red and XD. XD is just a fun time. It's a better game overall.
XD,
I should stream this because I kind of want to play it and put myself through suffering.
I'm tempted to do the same thing because I have my old copy of Coliseum and I'm tempted to go and play the actual game and catch them all again.
I kind of want to do it. We'll see. I'll think about it. I don't know if anybody wants to watch me do that, but we'll see.
Hey, based on our conversation earlier.
Yeah, I know. I should do my passion. All right. Well, you guys are 1 for 1. This next one is again from Togenik. And they ask, which 2 Pokemon are the most common Pokemon among all gym leaders? All teams. This includes their original teams, their rematch teams. Anytime you see them, Pokemon World Tour, something like that. But what is the most common Pokemon? What are the 2 most common Pokemon among gym leaders?
Very interesting.
Gym leaders.
You're probably just gonna have to take a stab, but yeah. If you get one of them, I'm gonna give you the answer because.
Okay, that's hard. This is hard.
All gym leaders.
So I'm thinking it has to be dual type at the very least, just for.
My mind went to Gyarados.
That's not bad. I feel like that's more Elite Four though.
I
I can't think of a gym leader that would have that other than Misty. One thought that came to mind are one of the Nidos.
Oh, Nidoking maybe could. Oh, I definitely think it might be poison because you have Janine and Koga. So,
exactly.
I hate to say it, but I think actually, Weezing or Crobat.
Ooh, Crobat may be a good one, actually. Did a flying person have a Crobat? Did Faulkner or
Skyla,
Winona?
maybe?
Oh, Skyla too, yeah.
That's why I'm thinking flying makes the most sense because there's a lot of flying types.
There are a lot of flying leaders, too.
Altaria may be it, to be honest.
I can only think of Winona for Altaria.
Skyla had it too, I thought.
Oh,
no, she was Gen 5, right?
Well, it might be rematch.
Yeah.
He mentioned that it could be World Tour rematch, so the doors are kind of open there a little bit.
True.
I like Crobat, though. That one's sticking somehow.
Let me just... Steelix is another one I think is very popular.
I will let you give me 2 Pokemon names when you lock in. Just give me any 2 Pokemon names you feel.
Because Jasmine,
any 2 Pokemon names?
Any of the Steel Gym leaders would potentially have that. There's been a lot of Electric. Ooh, Electric. Maybe Magneton?
I don't think those are very popular types, though, for the gym leaders in general.
Electric is very popular.
Fair. Okay, yeah. And I guess it would be on Surge's stuff before it became Steel type.
It's just a thought that popped into my head.
Yeah. Is there a weird dragon? Dragonite? No.
That's why I'm saying, I think Claire used a Gyarados. No, she's Kingdra. Dang.
I mean, Gyarados isn't bad. Gyarados and Crobat sounds nice to me. It's not, I don't think it's necessarily the answer, but I feel like it gives us the best shot with 2 shots.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think through, if there's anything that I'm missing that's,
Yeah.
Maybe water. Maybe a water type because there's a lot of water leaders.
Water poison? That's
No.
just Tentacruel. I'm thinking just like, amounts of Pokemon. That gets us our Gyarados, though, and that's kind of always been a pseudo-dragon.
I'm going to need your answer here, guys.
I don't know. Maybe it's not. I have no idea.
I need answers.
Crobat Gyarados? You want to just go with that?
Let's go. Probably the Steelix now, but yeah, Crobat Gyarados. Let's go with that.
Crobat Gyarados. Crobat's wrong, but Gyarados is correct, so I'm going to give you guys the point.
Yes.
Heck yeah!
I was right.
The answer is Gyarados and Pelipper. Those two are the most...
Pelipper?
Yeah. Both water flying, because there's a lot of flying and a lot of water gym leaders, and so they just kind of combine them.
How funny.
All right. Well, you guys are 2 for 2. Your next question is your Pokedex entry question, as always. This one's going to come to you from Tree Boy with an I. 212. He said he gives you an entry from Pokemon Violet. And it reads, it leaps from branch to branch in large trees, moving with ease. It propels itself with astounding speed and force. Who's that Pokemon?
Shiftry.
That sounds like... No, Shiftry uses wind. That feels like Zarude.
Oh, Zarude? Okay, yeah, I'm down with that.
Zarude?
I don't know, though. Violet entry? Scarlet Violet? That's the current gen. Did they get Dex entries in this?
Maybe.
Or did they just, use an old one or something? I don't know. Because I don't think Zarude is in Scarlet Violet proper. Is it? Can you even use it?
No. It's a transfer in only.
Oh, you can transfer it? I don't even know if you could transfer it.
I don't even know. I could not tell you off the top
I feel
of my
like you can. I think you can, but I don't know for certain. That's all I can think of, though. So, I mean, what do you think, Claude?
As far as the first Pokedex entry, why not go for it?
Yeah, why not? Zarude, lock in.
Zarude is incorrect. All right, so your second entry is going to come from Omega Ruby, and it reads, the leaves growing out of this Pokemon's body are convenient for camouflaging it from enemies in the forest. This Pokemon is a master at climbing trees and jungles.
So do I go back to Nuzleaf this time, or?
That is one leaf growing out of its body. Omega Ruby. Because I'm thrown off by climbing, because Shiftry, again, doesn't climb.
No, I'm saying Nuzleaf.
Yeah, Nuzleaf has one leaf, though. And it said leaves, plural.
Leaves, plural, is in the Pokedex entry. Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, Nuzleaf, even its name is singular. What's a leafy Pokemon that climbs? What's a leafy Pokemon, full stop? Is there a bug? Oh, yeah. That'll do it. Dinosaur.
That'll do, Donkey. That'll do.
That'll do.
Are we going Grovyle?
Grovyle, lock in?
Grovyle is correct.
There we go.
Gives you,
Phew.
That gives you a total of 3 points for 3 questions right there. So you guys are doing pretty okay. This one is going to come to you from Anjur. There are 10 answers here. I will give you up to 3 points. For every 3 of them you give me, you get 1 point. If you get all 10, good for you.
Okay, let me open a notepad.
Yeah.
In the Pokemon anime,
okay,
which 10 Generation 2 Pokemon were revealed before the release of Generation 2?
All right, so you have Togepi. You have
to lock these all in, obviously.
Togepi, lock in. Pichu, lock in.
Togepi is correct. Pichu is not. That is your first strike.
What?
That not in the anime. Not in the anime. It was in the movies, but not in the anime.
No, the anime counts as well. Certainly.
I could have
Pichu was seen in Pichu
do
Brothers.
The movies count?
Yeah, the movies count, but Pichu Brothers came out in movie 3 in part of the special in movie 3, which was after the release of Gold and Silver.
Oh, was it? Okay. Okay, if movies count, then Donphan.
Donphan is correct, yes.
Meryl
also counts. That is 3 now? You have 3, so that's...
We're missing the incredibly obvious one.
Which incredibly obvious?
Ho-Oh.
That is also correct.
Ho-Oh from the first.
That's 4. That's 4, I believe you've told me about so far.
Yes, that's 4.
That is 4
that we've gotten correct.
Yeah. Ho-Oh, Togepi, Meryl. Oh, yeah, you did. You said Meryl and Donphan,
and we said Pichu.
Pichu is incorrect.
But that's incorrect, so I'm putting it on a different line.
Oh gosh.
Gen 2 Pokemon specifically. It wouldn't have been Luigia, would it? We're in the middle of all the Gen 2 stuff.
You can lock it in. You have 2 strikes. You can test the waters.
Maybe, but movie promos.
So it's up to you.
I don't know. I really don't know.
How many strikes do we have? 3?
You have 3 strikes. You only have 1 so far.
Yeah. Okay. Why not? Hansbird, lock in.
Lugia is also correct. The Power of One, that movie came out before Generation 2 because it was about the Orange Islands, which was a filler season. Yeah.
Okay, then Slowking.
Slowking is correct. Yes, that is 6. You got 6 now. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6. So we got 4 missing.
Yeah, 4 missing. Yeah, that's 2
what
points.
What other things were in Power of One?
Oh, Power of One.
The Luigi.
Yeah,
movie.
I know. I'm just trying to think of like.
Lugia is the best bird. That's fine.
I can't think of any.
Its TCG deck threw me so hard off of liking it.
I like the deck now. It's like balanced now.
I still hate
the
it.
The deck now is balanced.
It's okay.
Did any of them have something funny on their team? I'm trying to think through the scenes of the movie. Ooh. I don't know. It wasn't in the movie, but it might have been like a preview.
I'm trying to think of
for the next one coming. Technically,
Power of One was the Lugia movie, right?
Yes.
Elekid. Elekid is correct in a couple of things. It appeared Tracy sketched it in the anime actually randomly. And it was just like, he's like, yeah, I saw this Pokemon. It's weird. And then it was also in Pikachu's Rescue Adventure, the Pikachu short before the Power of One movie.
Oh, that's the one where they're getting Charizard out of the thingamajig.
Oh, the Orange Islands. That's before.
That's not a Pokemon plot.
But like that's the season that I can think in my head of. Oh, what Pokemon came out here? Oh, because there were things from there.
Was there other stuff in the little rescue Charizard from the? Was it stuck in like a hole? I don't remember. They had to tie a rope around its leg and everyone pulled.
That's the Pikachu Vacation short.
Why Onyx couldn't? Yeah. Is that what it is?
Yeah. That was the beginning of the first Pokemon.
Oh yeah,
movie.
You're right.
It's really hard because I don't think those are actually like watchable anywhere. It turns out, like if you buy the Blu-rays of the movies, they don't come with those anymore.
Crystal Onyx.
Yeah.
What the heck? Crystal Onyx. Yeah, that's revealing terrestrialized.
Gosh, I can't think of anything else. We can just throw out guesses.
What are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're at 7 of 10.
Like I'm trying to think of like, was Scizor revealed early? Was Heracross revealed early?
I need you guys to give me some kind of answer.
I don't know. I don't think Scizor was because I think it got its own episode. I guess Celebi's okay. We can do that and kind of see where we go with it.
Do we have how many strikes do we have?
You have 2 left.
We have 2 strikes left.
Oh, what about Blossom?
Blossom?
It's just an idea. I'm just thinking.
Blossom, are you locking that in or? Okay.
Yeah,
Blossom is correct. Yeah, that was in the Pikachu Rescue Adventure short before the second movie. Yeah.
Oh, Politoed.
Okay,
then, possibly.
Locking in Politoed. Politoed is incorrect.
No,
that is your second strike.
Woof. Okay,
you're
at
so you're missing 2
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we were missing 2.
I think you could get one of them. I don't know if you'll get the other, but we'll find out.
Want to try Celebi? Just for fun?
I guess we can do it.
Celebi is your 3rd strike. So you guys pulled 2 Pokemon out of there. The other 2 you're missing. One was Snubble. Snubble was in that Pikachu's Vacation short where they pulled Charizard out of the tube. It was hanging out with a Meryl and I believe I forget what there were like a group of 3 or 4 Pokemon that were just like hanging out. That were like the bad guy antagonists, right?
And they all became fairy type.
Yeah, actually, I think. And then there was Ladybug, which also appered in Pikachu's Rescue Adventure.
Yep, was not getting that.
And that one I did not expect.
I wasn't going to get either of those.
You guys did get 2 points out of that though, so you are 5 for 4. Your next question is your base stat question, as always. This one is going to come to you from that Chespin dude. Which the question is, which fully evolved dragon type Pokemon has the lowest base stat total? This includes single stage lines, obviously, as well.
This includes single stage. Okay. So it's not Chespin. We can rule that out.
Can you repeat the question one more time?
Which fully evolved dragon type Pokemon has the lowest base stat total? Single Single stage lines are obviously included.
So one immediate thought is Tatsugiri.
Yep.
Because it's just a little guy.
He's just a little guy.
It's got weirdly high speed and weirdly high special attack. I think it's like 125, which is Zapdos level.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
Fully evolved, so like, I guess Drampa?
Drampa would be part of it, but it's got a higher base stat than Tatsugiri, I'm sure of that. He's a chonky boy. What are other puny little dragons? Altaria is kind of a puny dragon, but it's pretty balanced. So I think it's higher. It's going to be higher. What are the singles? There's Dredagon. Obviously, Archaludon is not. Kingdra has base 85 across the board.
Okay. I'm just going gen by gen. Salamence, Flygon.
Yeah.
Latios, that's not going to be that.
Yeah, just to name dragons at least.
Not Garchomp. Was there any dragons in Gen 4 that weren't legendary?
I feel like there was, but I'm not thinking of any. 5 had some.
Hydreigon.
Dragon Spiral Tower and all that.
Hydreigon.
Yeah, that's going to be 600.
Yeah, that's the only one I can think of.
Naming, exactly.
And
Drud, like mentioned. Drud the Stud. I hate that. There's the fossils, but they're pretty good. All the Draco, Zolt, Dracovish.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still liking Tatsugiri.
I think it's Tatsugiri. I would lock that in.
Locking in. Tatsugiri. Tell us we're wrong.
Tatsugiri is correct.
Yeah!
With a base stat total of 475. There's like 5 other Pokemon that 485, so like not that far off. They're all tied. Drudigan, Turtonator, Drampa, Flapple, and Appleton are all at 485.
Yeah, wow.
Which are only like 10 off from Tatsugiri, which is a shock, in all honesty. So
yeah, no kidding.
But that gives you guys 7 points today. So let me go ahead and add those points into your totals.
Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah, no, it definitely helps a couple of you in our race to the end of the year here. So we're going to go ahead.
Especially since I've been on the Thatchless ones, and I don't know that those count because I'm usually the one reading the trivia.
Oh, right. So in first place, we've got Bocephus with 16 points. In second place, we've got Clod with 15 points.
Oh, snap. All right, I need to catch up.
Tied for third, we've got Sublime and Whimsicott at 14. In fifth place, we've got Seth Vilo at 13. In sixth, we've got Dr. Shamu at 6. And in seventh, we've got a 2-way tie between R Sigma and Jushiro at 5. Everybody else has yet to get on the board. But with that, guys, we are going to kick it on over to our topic. Hey, Thatch here. A lot of you have been asking how you can hang out with us during the week. Well, the best way to do so is come to our Discord server at puclpodcast.com. You can join our server and you can hang out with us, talk Pokemon, battle, do a bunch of cool things, join in our tournaments. So what's stopping you? Come on over, puclpodcast.com. You can jump right on in and have a good time talking with the hosts of the show, as well as the large community we've gathered over the years. So come on, let's hang out. Welcome to another exciting episode topic, I guess. We're going to be talking about the unused type combinations. We did an episode about this, I found out, back in 2015, so about 9 years ago, so very recently. There were certainly at that time far more of these than there are now. And I wanted to take today to sit down and discuss maybe some possibilities for how we're going to get some of these Pokemon into the game. Also, just kind of discuss a couple of these I find surprising that they don't exist yet, for a number of reasons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And even then, there are some type combinations that I think are like locked to certain forms of Pokemon that I don't like. They've technically been used, but like an example of this that I find probably the most frightening, that I don't like that it exists. And people like claim it as like a used type combination is like Mega Altaria, where it's Dragon Fairy, because that's not on anything other than Mega Altaria, and Mega Altaria business is just, it doesn't exist, right? Like it just doesn't exist anymore. I think we should take a moment to talk about things like that. So I mean, there's 4 off the bat. There are only 8 unused type combinations, by the way, which is insane to think about nowadays because...
Is there 9?
No, there's 8. There's 8.
The list has 9.
I believe. No, it's 9. It is 9. I don't know how to read. They're only 9. Which is still shockingly lower than it was the last time we did this episode, because I think I looked at this exact webpage back then as well, and it was like at least like 17 or 18 of these. So they are being whittled down. Like they are making progress. I mean, a lot of normal type combinations, which is fine, but honestly, like after they just started throwing normal on everything, I don't think it's fine anymore.
I think we need to finish it out and flush it out so everything, all the types could be in one game.
I don't know.
All the type combos, at least.
Combos, yeah. Sorry.
Maybe. I don't know that that needs to happen per se. I do just like the idea of like Pokemon of every type combination existing. Like I do like that idea.
Yeah, agreed. Even if they're locked behind forms.
Yeah, even if they're locked behind forms. There's one that I, in particular though, that I don't like. Like outside of Mega Altaria, there's another one that like I'm just like I understand, but it needs to be freed up a little bit.
There's a bunch, I think, that could be freed up a little bit, to be honest.
So, I mean, like, so 4 of them that are normal types combinations that probably...
Well, actually, let's go over all the types that are not used.
4 of them are normal types that haven't been used. There's normal ice, normal bug, normal rock, and normal steel.
Golly gee, I love quad fighting weaknesses.
There are 3 of those in that mention. You are correct. I still think they could exist. Like, you could have them. Like, outside of Meloetta, I think like normal fighting doesn't exist, right? There isn't another normal fighting type. Tell me there's not another normal fighting type in my head.
Yes, there is.
Oh, Lopunny. Mega Lopunny. You're correct. But that also...
And Beware.
Oh, Beware. There it is. Beware. Yep. Yeah, so... Yeah, normal ice. I could see a normal ice. I don't know. The one that gets me is normal bug. Like, that's just Caterpie, right? Like...
That's what it should be, at least.
Can we retcon Caterpie to being normal bug?
The thing is, like, you think to yourself, oh gosh, I just want a normal bug. And then you think of just a bug.
Yeah, exactly. It should have been nimble.
So it needs to be a bug. It should have been a bug with something, you know? Like, how do you invoke not being an animal, really, or being a normal version of an animal with a bug?
I feel like normal's typically just like a catch-all. I don't know, like, Pyroar's normal fighting, right? Or not normal fire. Like, why?
It's because it's a normal lion.
Okay, so give me a normal bug. Just give me a normal bug. That's fine.
That's on fire. Yeah.
Like, just give me a normal bug. I think it'll be fine.
At least that one's not weak to fighting.
It wouldn't be weak to fighting. That's true, yeah.
It'd be neutral, but which is not much better.
We need, like, what's the opposite of Shedinja? Like, that's what we need.
The opposite of Shedinja. The Ninjask, obviously.
Yeah, like an alive Shedinja, you know?
Oh, a Ninjask? Yeah.
Ninjask gets flying though. Womp womp.
That'd be fun though. I agree with you. I think it's hard to really incorporate, and that's probably why these aren't used. Is how do you normalize?
I feel like they just give normal type to certain Pokemon because they want to give them something else. And I think it's fine because it does come with some perks for that Pokemon. Like, I think if something like Heliolisk doesn't need normal type, in my opinion. But it does get access then to like Hyper Voice Stab, which is really cool.
Yeah, I think it might just be to make the Pokemon itself early game-ish a little more threatening.
We need a bug that screams. We need a screaming bug.
A bug that screams. They had Cicada right there.
We need a bug that screams, like another one.
A bug that screams like a Selgor?
It evolves randomly at either level 13 or 17.
Excelgor would be a perfect normal bug. I'm okay with that.
Because he gets Boom Burst. That would be really
It's
cool.
a ninja, though. That's the opposite of screaming.
But it does get Boom Burst.
Yeah, it gets Water Shuriken as well.
What are the other normal ones that we need to normalize?
Normal ice. I don't know what that is.
Normalize.
In my mind, that is Cubchoo.
Cubchoo.
In my mind, that is a toy that was frozen.
Oh, that's a good one.
That would be more arguable of Ghost, but
normal. This would have been like a really good. That would have been like a really good Paradox Pokemon. Like, I see Iron Bundle, and I'm like, normal ice could make sense.
Because it's like a toy that was frozen. That would be cool to me. Like ice energy cause this toy to become to life or whatever.
Or even like Ice Cube could have probably taken that.
Normal just feels like it's a hard type to match with a lot of the times.
Like what makes something normal?
I think you just give it to a Pokemon. You just give it to a Pokemon, and then they can like hit things really hard with Tackle. It's fine. Like normal Rock.
I can see someone starting out as a normal ice type and then evolving into something that's better.
Yeah, no, that I'm perfectly okay with that as well. Like it being a base form, like Snorunt could be normal ice and then just evolve into like Glalie, who should have been like dark ice instead. But normal Rock is.
I was about to say, what's a normal rock look like?
It's a Geodude.
It's a pet rock. They need like a pet rock Pokemon.
A pet rock? Oh my gosh, that would be so good.
Could you? Oh my gosh, that would be so bad. Like
the forms.
No, it's like, but it doesn't do any. So it's like Magikarp, where just like no splash, right? But because the joke is that it might not actually be a Pokemon. It might just be a pet rock, but then it evolves, right? And it's like ends up being like this beast. It's like the Legend of Zelda rock monsters you have to fight. It evolves into that, but like the base form is just a rock. It's just a rock.
It evolves with like the right color of paint.
Or you could have it. You could have like a branching evolution type thing, even where it's just like, oh, you touch that pet rock with a Firestone, and it becomes a fire rock type.
So hear me out.
Ooh.
I think Dunsparce should have been normal rock.
I think the Dunsparce you could make that argument for. I don't know about Dunsparce.
Yeah,
I think you can.
But I think the Dunsparce is funnier because it's not.
Yeah, true.
To Dunsparce, those ones drill through rock, though, so I don't know if becoming part of what they drill through.
Normal ground would have been better. Normal ground probably would have been better.
Normal ground would have made a little bit more sense.
I can definitely see that.
Thematically. Because that's what that tail is for. It says it's for drilling, specifically.
Well, it learns Drill Run, so that makes sense.
I mean, I'm just trying to think of, like, something that would else be normal rock. Like, Roggenrola.
What's okay to be weak to fighting?
I still think my pet rock idea is very funny.
I really like the pet rock idea. That's such a fun.
And then you touch it with an evolution stone, and it evolves into it
incorporates it.
It like gets a new we've almost made a new evolution.
So like an evolution, but rock.
It gets slightly bigger, and you can see the tape on the back of it.
But I wouldn't give it as many options. It would be like.
So, but now that could be cool though, because you could do that with all the different like gemstones. Like, all right, cool, here's a leaf stone, now it's emerald.
I think you should be able to do it with all the stones, and it's just like that type plus rock.
Oh, so almost like a fur color.
Its name is just like rock, but with the umla over the O. Rock. And then when you evolve it, it's like fire rock. It's actually just the same thing. It still only knows rock type splash, but now it's a fire type.
No, I think it should evolve into like this giant thing, and it turns out that like people just have been looking over them for years. They didn't realize these were Pokemon for years.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
I think that's such a good idea. Guys, Pokemon, you can call me. Email me at puclpodcast@gmail.com. We'll talk. One of them's listening. Oh,
they emailed me. Oh, it's a cease and desist.
Oh, no.
Normal steel now. So it's just a hunk of iron.
Well, no, it has to be.
And if it touches an evolution stone, it evolves into a bigger chunk of.
I could see something that eats steel is like a little normal steel guy. He's like, oh, I'm a little like steel eater. Nom nom.
I picture that kind of like a recycling unit.
Almost like what Trubbish is, but for steel.
Funny enough, the way I imagine normal type, this is going to be a complicated one. The way I imagine normal type is kind of like the way you imagine the difference between iron and steel, where steel is iron with carbon in it, and just kind of that refines it and makes it stronger than just its base form. Adding normal type to something as far as like what damage it can do in a battle and its dangerousness offensively, to me is adding the carbon to the iron to make it steel. So normal steel could be some kind of funky forge thing, or like what you were getting at, Claude, with some kind of like recycling creature. We've got Grimer and those kind of things for like toxic waste.
I think that makes sense. I like the idea of just like a bag full of just aluminum cans.
Or just something that you feed it aluminum cans to evolve it?
It's a trubbish. It's a trubbish. It's a regional trubbish.
No, it's a vending machine.
It's got bottle cap pickup as an ability.
It's a regional trubbish that only recycles. It doesn't pick up actual trash.
Actually, that's not recyclable. I can't hold this item.
Yeah. The only move it knows is recycle. And
No, it doesn't even learn it, just for fun.
Its ability is recycle.
we did it. Okay, so those are all the normal ones, and I think those are the most fun ones, honestly, because the rest of them are like very standard, I think, in terms of like what should we do.
I don't know. I think ice poison is one that I'm not sure what we would do with.
That's fair. Ice poison hasn't been used, and
Honestly,
I would have liked that to have been the Petrarunch over the ghost poison.
I know, I like ghost poison a lot.
I just picture an ice poison being something, like its theme anyway, is almost something like liquid nitrogen.
Ooh.
Its cold energy has created some kind of liquid that normally is a gas.
It needs
Very harmful.
It needs to like have a move like frostbite or something.
Yeah.
Poisons the target instead of freezes the target because
So it's like an ice type poison, like ice type of heat, like Scald can burn, but this is an ice move that poisons.
If it's got like, is flash freeze a move? If you have like flash freeze as a move that does a little tiny bit of damage, but then makes it so that the next contact move does bonus damage, almost like liquid nitrogen, and dropping an apple and watching it shatter like glass.
Oh, I see.
Oh, okay.
That would be cool.
But yeah, I feel like you could do that.
I'm liking this idea.
That's a fun little stupid gimmick.
I feel like you could do that very easily. And I mean, you could even just have like really cold Grimer. I don't know, like
Really cold Grimer, honestly.
yeah, like I don't know. Like I could.
Well, so like that's the thing I've realized with a lot of these, that it's very easy if you decide, oh, let's do a regional variant to make these happen. Like you can take
That's such a cool thing about it.
You can take any Tauros, just as a blanket statement, and just throw it in a different environment, and it's like, all right, cool, this is Steel Tauros, this is Ice Tauros, because it's caught in the mountains, you know, like...
They should have done... Yeah, Paldean Tauros was done poorly, and I feel bad about it.
When we're looking at this list underneath, these unused ones that have, like, the Pokemon that only they qualify as special, or, like, are a form, or something like that, they're already doing that, really. I mean, because...
Yeah, they are. They are doing that a lot.
Alolan Raichu, Alolan Ninetales, Alolan Sandslash. Yeah, it's kind of cool how they did that with, like...
Oh, yeah, they just, like, make the funky types with, like, old Pokemon, right? Yeah, it's very
Let
cool.
me take this Pokemon, put it in an environment, and now it's different. I like what they're doing with it. We're just giving them ideas. Freeze a Grimer.
I think the biggest one on this list that has been unused that I'm kind of surprised by and a little upset by is Fire Fairy. Like,
Where's our Mega Rapidash? Or Rapidash evolution?
Rapidash should have, like, if they could have come up with that with Galarian Rapidash, I think that would have been a big hit over Psychic Fairy.
That is its combination in Radical Red. Just saying.
Like, Fire Fairy it's a really good type, to be fair. Like, it's a good type.
It is.
I would be like, oh, they're just too scared of making a good type. And I'm like, no, look how many Psychic Steel types we have. Like, those, or not Psychic, Fairy Steel types we have, which is, like, the best type combination of the game. Arguably.
Yeah.
Defensively, yeah.
Like, arguably best type combination of the game is Steel Fairy. I think that, like, Fire Fairy would be really cool. Like, I'm kind of bummed that the regional Arcanine we got was Fire Rock and not Fire Fairy.
Yeah. Or fire anything else.
Like, that's what I see as, like, I see, like, a more quote-unquote legendary Arcanine that is, like, Fire Fairy. Like, that's my mindset with it, but I would be okay. Like, I really had this hope in my heart, like, deep in my heart.
I pictured, like...
I pictured a Pegasus with Rapidash.
That does work, too, I think. I think that works very well. Like, Mega Rapidash, if Mega Rapidash happens in PLZA, Fire Fairy is its typing. Like, hard stop.
For Arcanine specifically, I pictured it would be more draconic, because it's like those old statues with the way it looked with the rock. Yeah, it's a rock statue, but it looked draconic.
Ground Fairy, I don't even know what that looks like. It's just, I want little moles that cause chaos. Yeah?
I know what that looks like.
I think that's such a good typing, though.
It's a fun typing. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of, actually.
It is a good typing, and I picture the, what is it, the fairy-nosed mole, I think, is what it's called.
The next gen, for sure, yeah.
and make it like, I don't know, just to weave a story to it. Like there's a cave system in Italian Pokemon or whatever, and oh, look, we have to go into the cave system that was made years ago by Fairy Groundius.
And then one of them mutated and became Deontay. I mean, another Pokemon.
That's the mole Pokemon, and they're all over there, and they're not very good, but there's a lot of them. That kind of a thing. Exactly. Wait.
Granted, I can also see, like, a different version of, like, Sandygast that's not a ghost type being a fairy type. And it's just, like, a sand little, like...
Or just, like, is sand... Sand at a beach was filled with the joy and laughter of children and created itself. A sand creature was given life. Like, that would...
So I see this next one is Bug Dragon, and my answer is it should have just been Flygon.
Oh, I'm gonna make my own entry in the sand competition this year. Oh.
Yan Mega would have been a good one too. That's true.
Should have just been Flygon.
Or Yanmega. Yanmega's also right there.
You heard it here. Ground Yanmega. Give it a Megastone. Ground it.
I think Bug Dragon, I'm actually very surprised hasn't happened. Like, that's the one dragon that hasn't happened. I do feel like...
It's like Mega
Gen 10's calling, okay? Gen 10's gonna make it happen. I don't know what it's gonna look like. I didn't expect Baxcalibur, I'm gonna tell you that much. And I really do want to see what this Bug Dragon type is. It's gonna exist, and it's such a fun typing. It's a fun typing. I don't know, like, it's gonna be weak against flying, which kind of sucks.
I want an insect dragon. Give me a crunchy dragon. I can't wait.
Oh, also, how is that not Galarian Yamask and Runa Regis?
Like, I really don't know what they're waiting for on that. Like, it's right there, and they have it. And I'm more surprised this last one hasn't happened. Ghost Rock?
No, it's not. It's not Ghost Rock.
How is it not Corsola?
They do it specifically to vex me.
No, Gen 8 had a lot of Pokemon that could have been this. Like,
Galarian Corsola is Ghost Rock, but it's not the rock.
I'm actually surprised that Galarian Yamask was Ghost Ground and not Ghost Rock. It carries a rock around. What makes that a ground type? Sure.
I get that a little bit because it's a sarcophagus that's buried underground, basically. So I get that a little. I definitely agree with you, Claude, that the Corsola should have been this. Like, keep the rock, make it ghost, because there is still a rock under there. There's ghost coming out of it that is the body of Corsola and Corsola's little spikes.
Oh, what? We're not arguing that.
But you know what it would have countered a lot easier? Halucha. And you know what you would be really good with? Levitate. That way, Mega Pinsir doesn't earthquake you. This is not made specifically to vex me and the things that I hate, because I would use this religiously.
We've gone through the types that haven't been used. I want to take a moment here at the end to talk about a couple of the types of Pokemon that aren't like outside of a regional or outside of a specific form or something. I don't want to go through. I don't want to go through all of them. Like Mega Altaria is obviously a problem and should be remedied.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we should get another Dragon Fairy type. That would be really cool. I don't know what that looks like, but we should get one. No, so like there's one of these on this list that like is practically just not used. And the answer is the Fire Ice type, which is only by the Zen mode of Galarian Darmanitan.
Or things that like would make sense from a design perspective, but are locked behind.
Nobody's using Zen mode Darmanitan hard stop.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I understand because like Fire and Ice is hard to put together, and honestly, the design is perfect, and it makes sense that it should be Fire and Ice.
I mean, it's rare.
I want another one, guys. Same with Fire and Water, probably with Volcanion.
Let's say those with Fire, Water with Volcanion. I understand it's a little difficult to do, but it's right there. Like, you can make something happen, and they made Grass Fire work. They can do another one.
I think Volcanion is such a good combination, and I would argue that Darmanitan is not this, which is why we need something there. But Fire Water on Volcanion and being the Steam Pokemon, they did such a good job incorporating those two together.
Oh, I think Volcanion's a great design. I just want more of it. I think it's cool. It's just not used enough. Like, it's not in the games.
And Fire Electric, honestly, like, you can't do better than a Heat Rotom or, like, a Lightning Bolt, maybe? Thank goodness, right? Agreed. Yeah, but I definitely agree with you on the Darmanitan thing, where that's such a cool idea of a type, and it's used on such a not usable Pokemon that you don't even see, even if it's got the ability. Like, that's basically an unused type.
Because Zen mode, I don't know how many people are aware because nobody's ever used it. It is this ability where if Darmanitan, because you're going to run sheer force and never run Zen mode anyway, but if you have Zen mode, it still requires for the form shift to happen, Darmanitan needs to go below 50% health. Yeah, it's a hidden ability.
And it's not even on, like, regular Darmanitan, so it's not your choice between sheer force and this. It's your choice between guerrilla tactics and this.
Yeah, no, this one's only Galarian. Even the Zen mode, though, on the other one is, like, ridiculous. It's just, I don't know. I'm very upset by it. Like, I understand why it exists.
No, it's only Galarian, though, on this.
It's a very cool nod to original Zen mode, and I like that they found a way to do Fire and Ice, but, like, it doesn't count as a Pokemon, in my mind. It doesn't count. We need a proper Fire Ice type Pokemon. Burning Snowman, super cool. Love it. Make that an actual Pokemon and not a form of Darmanitan. Like, that needs to happen. Yeah, that'd be... I agree, because right now it's just, like, it's on, like, a bunch of them, right?
Or lean into that... Yeah, go ahead, Claude.
So I also want to see the Psychic Ghost type off of a Legendary.
Ooh, yeah. Wow, it is just Legends.
It's Hoopa, Lunala, Dawnwing's Necrozma, and Calyrex. Like, Psychic Ghost is, like, a good typing that, like, if you had asked me, like, oh, there's definitely a non-legend that has this, but I couldn't tell you what it was. Because there isn't one. Like, it feels like it's...
What is a ghost but something that can do telepathic moving of objects? Like...
And by the same vein, Psychic Dragon is also only on Legends.
Well, even then, the Necrozma is also locked away.
It's only on Latios, and Necrozma.
Like, it's Ultra Necrozma. There's no way you're getting Ultra Necrozma.
I feel like that's kind of the whole previous... Yeah, Ultra. It's Latios. It's the Latios only, really.
It seems like there should be more of these. Because there should be.
A little bit. That is actually, I watched an interview about this.
That feels like a relic of Psychic being the legendary type.
It's also the reason the ability Levitate exists. Is because what happened was, so like Lugia, this happened to Lugia, where Lugia got the Psychic type because that was the powerful type. So when they designed Latios and Latias, they're like, oh, these are dragon types because they're powerful. But they're also psychic types because they're powerful. But we don't want them to be hit by... They're obviously flying. We don't want them to be hit by ground type moves, so they gave them the ability to levitate. They gave them abilities.
They're jets. Yeah. So you heard it here, folks. The perfect legend is Latias and Latios. They are the two perfect legendary types.
Can we get another Lati? Can we get a third Lati that's a dragon fairy type?
With the perfect legendary customizability. You heard it here.
Until they get walled by, like, a tiny Darkmon.
The lost Lottie, right? We got a red and a blue one, but did we get a green one? You know, let's get a green Lottie. Well, I guess one of their shinies is, like, teal, but...
shiny.
I mean, we can get another one, a purple one. Just give us a purple one, which is their mega, but that's fine. Latias, yes, Latias. Yeah, I think that'd be good.
Oh my god.
And that one's named Latias, like US.
Type, I think, like, we have, and there's two other, like, legendary-esque mythical types.
Yeah, I'm kind of okay with that. Like, those don't bother me as much.
That are only on one thing, being Heatran with Fire Steel and Terrakion with Fighting Rock.
It's also just, like, really... Oh, I think we could get...
Fire Steel I get, because that's another kind of opposite type.
But, like, Fighting Rock, I feel like there could be a lot you can do with that, or there could be more.
And a melting heart of a volcano.
I think you could get, like, I think you get another Fighting Rock type for sure.
I think Fighting Rock is a good one.
I could imagine, like, almost a Tyrogue-esque, like, small Pokemon, but he's got a bunch of rocks on him, and he uses them as, like, training weights, essentially. Kind of like Timber, yeah.
Give it, like, a Shields Down type thing, where when you've done 50%, a lot of rocks have dropped off, and it becomes way faster.
It gets weak armor, you know?
Yeah, or something weird like that. Weak armor's actually really good. That's a good idea. A better idea than I had.
Ooh, like a Minior, but fighting.
It's fine. That's why we're here. We're creating together. We're creating. This is called collaboration.
Uh-huh.
All right. Anything else? If not, I think we covered a lot.
Please give me my perfect Hawlucha counter Pokemon. Please. How dare you?
But Hawlucha's not even that good.
Yeah, no, because then when I still see it, I feel even worse because I lose to it.
What do you mean, how dare I? Isn't that what you wanted to hear?
Because it's not even good and I still lose to it.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, that has been our topic. If you guys have any ideas for Pokemon types that haven't been seen yet, send them in. puclpodcast@gmail.com. Until then, guys, we are going to go ahead and kick it on over to our Pokemon of the episode. We'll catch you on the flip-flop. The episode. Welcome to our Pokemon of the episode. Our Pokemon of the episode this week is National Dex number 721, Volcanion, the Steam Pokemon.
It's X and Omega Ruby entries. It's only got 2 Dex entries repeated.
Because they got rid of new ones every game.
Bring Volcanion back.
So boring. Bring new Dex entries back. I want more lore. Anyway, it's X and Omega Ruby Dex entry reads: it lets out billows of steam and then disappears into the dense fog. It's said to live in mountains where humans do not tread.
I thought it lived in a volcano.
Nah, bro. This isn't anywhere near a volcano.
Wow. I love that they came up with this volcano Pokemon and it came out in Kalos. It's fine.
Right?
It's fine.
Famous for its
volcanoes. I mean, we had volcanoes literally in the game right after it. Could they not have just been like, what if we just held off like a little bit?
I mean, if we think about it, though, it's mountain-based and everything. It doesn't require volcanoes. It is the volcano. It's very good. It would have been a great Lord of the Rings Pokemon because it lives in the Misty Mountains.
All right. Volcanion is a good Pokemon. I don't know what to tell you otherwise.
It hits hard, has Water Absorb, which is really nice.
It has Water Absorb. It gets a more powerful version of Scald called Steam Eruption, which is 110 base power instead of 70 in Scald. Or 80 in Scald. It's just good. I don't know. Like it's got decent move pool. It's rocking and rolling. Got a good shiny. Did we ever get shiny Volcanion? Did that ever happen?
I think so.
Is that available? I don't know.
It just suffers from it's a cool type. It's not a good type. Like Fire Water, it's weak to all ground, rock, electric, which is really bad. Now you're neutral against grass, which is fine.
It does fair.
Do interesting things to a lot of its weaknesses and everything. Yeah. They've got a typo in the Bulbapedia page.
I remember in the TCG, it's not now, but it used to be. When Steam Siege came out, it was like one of the best decks. It was Volcanion EX. It was before I could afford good cards. So I was not playing. Also, the Pokemon used to be more expensive back then, actually, than it is now. Like right now, I think pretty much every top tier deck in Pokemon is under $100.
That was in the $100 Shaman EX era.
$50 Shaman EX, yeah.
I think all the top decks are under like 50 right now.
I don't think Regidrago is under 50 right now.
It is. Depends when you bought stuff, but yeah.
It depends on when you bought stuff. If you're I'm talking about if you were to buy things right now, like how much would the deck cost? And it's all.
Let's find out.
Gardevoir is super cheap because you can just go pick up the League Battle deck right now and have 90% of the
theme deck. Grab a couple.
Gardevoir is roughly 40.
You buy all for Gardevoir. You need to buy is the $30 League Battle deck. You go buy an unfair stamp, and you're done. Like
a couple Dark Energies and Monkey Dories.
You're probably fine.
Lost Zone is roughly 50, and half the price is Prime Catcher, pretty much.
Yep.
I think Lugia Archeopsis might be a little more.
Well, that's just because the cards are so old too right now.
55. I think Raging Bolt might be expensive just because it's newer.
Yeah,
Raging Bolt's 103 right now.
Anything with Ogre Pawns is expensive because Ogre Pawns still like a $10 card.
Oh yeah.
Also, Earthen Vessels went up in price.
And Earthen Vessels are kind of ridiculous right now at like $4 a card because all of the decks on the shelf, if you go to like your local Target, like they have the Ninetales EX and the Zapdos EX decks that came out. Those both have like 3 Earthen Vessels in them, and they're like $20. And they have other cards that are good for staples.
Sitting around 70.
That sounds right.
I didn't realize Arven was expensive.
Arven's gone up. Yeah. Arven's gone up. We're talking about Volcanion and Clod. I don't want to keep talking about the current meta. I was talking about the meta from I was going to talk about the meta from 2018.
I'm just surprised that I didn't think prices had gone up that much, but they did.
Yeah, that was the time when like the big 3 decks at the time like all countered each other. I think it was another Gardevoir deck actually. There's like another Gardevoir deck.
I don't think at that time. It came out pretty soon after. I think they had a little bit of overlap, but I don't think it was at that time.
There's a good Gardevoir deck around then. There's some good Steel type decks around then. Metagross EX was really big around then too.
Yeah. It was really good though. And there was another Volcanion card.
Yeah, there's a baby Volcanion that you used with Volcanion EX.
Yeah. That was, I think, was that the time when like the baby version of a card became the terminology?
What do you mean?
Because I think it was because people wanted to have distinction between Volcanion EX.
There was in the rules.
In the rule set there was fire.
Yeah, in the rules there were, because Volcanion EX was a different Pokemon than Volcanion.
I mean like the terminology of the community referring to something as baby this.
That might be when,
I think it was around this Volcanion time.
Yeah, because this was like the first time that that was like necessary.
The two were relevant in the same deck.
Yeah, the two were relevant in the same deck because baby Volcanion would charge up the big boy Volcanion. Because
I think this was when that term started.
Volcanion EX was actually pretty decent because it was steam up once during your turn. Before you attack, you may discard a fire energy card from your hand. If you do, during this turn, your basic fire Pokemon is attacked, do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. So like you could have the Volcanion EX on the bench, have the 1 energy on the baby Volcanion that did like, I think it was like 50 or something damage. Let me look. I'm gonna look that up real quick. The baby Volcanion for 1 energy would do 20 damage with Power Heater, which allows you to choose 2 of your bench Pokemon to attach fire energy to from your discard pile. So you just put it there with your Volcanion.
You Ultra Balled them away and then you attacked with it.
Well, no, you Volcanion EX them away to do more damage.
Oh yeah,
and it stacks. So if you had 2 Volcanion EXs and you discarded 2 energy, you could do an additional 60 damage and then get those energy directly back onto the Volcanion EXs on the bench that were doing 130 damage with Volcanic Heat. So it was a wild time to be alive. It was a very good deck. Also Volcanion EX was doing 2 types of damage because Steam Siege had these weird cards that were dual type Pokemon. Which I don't think was think that was talked about enough when they came out either, or like discussed, but like Volcanion was doing fire and water type damage in the TCG.
Yeah, that was funky.
Was weird. Yeah. But it was a decent card.
I'm reading into the one anime appearance of Volcanion, which is in the Magearna movie.
Yeah, the Magearna movie, where it's just like kind of a butt the entire time.
Kind of a jerk because it hates people and wants to keep Magearna safe because apparently Magearna is important and has certain memories, and like Volcanion's the only thing that knows its identity.
Which is a very weird in and of itself again. Yes. Yeah.
Spoiler alert, I guess.
Yeah, it's very weird and confusing, but continue.
Apparently Volcanion has defibrillator powers and Magearna has life-giving powers.
Oh.
Sure. I believe all of this.
All of
this happened in the anime.
Magearna uses its allergen-causing powers to create life.
Sure,
if that's what we want to go with.
I'm not even kidding. Magearna makes flowers whose pollen revives the dead.
What?
Yeah, today you learned.
I thought that was pretty Tito.
Magearna's a weird Pokemon, man, okay?
I keep forgetting that it is a Pokemon.
Magearna?
Yeah.
Magearna's such a weird Pokemon. It is. I know this isn't about Magearna, but like Magearna's wild, man. Why? I don't understand.
Magearna was created using arcane science by Nicola, who also created the Azalith Kingdom's machinery, powered by Magearna's soul heart. Very, very Philosopher's Stone energy going on up here. Oh, dear. That's a weird one. That's a weird movie. That's some implication. But yeah, Volcanion's also apparently a jerk.
Yeah, it's just a jerk in that movie. I don't.
Yeah, he's a steampunk, if you will.
Yeah,
that's not fun.
I don't know if I have any other good stories about it, but
neither do I.
I just remember the TCG deck because I remember this. I don't know if Beaverla still listens to the show, but he and I used to go to Pokemon locals together. We met through the show, and our locals used to be very small. It used to be like 8 people most weeks, and we didn't do real tournaments. We just do a bunch of casual play. But one day we had a tournament, and I, at the time, was a poor grad student, so I was building like cheap budget decks. And I had actually like blown a lot of money to try to build a Tapu Koko EX deck at the time, which wasn't like top tier at all. It was like maybe like tier 2, tier 3 deck.
Right.
But we were playing best of ones, and I went ahead and I I beat him with the Tapu Koko deck because he was like just drawing terribly. I just remember being like, he was playing Volcanion, and I just remember being like, yeah, so I guess this is the better deck, the Tapu Koko EX, just to like bug him,
just jabbing him.
I was just like, I guess Tapu Koko EX is just like the better deck than Volcanion EX. It's not even like we found the deck, guys.
That's really funny.
Because I got the one accidental win. But yeah,
I guess I'm just better.
I guess I'm just better than everybody. I don't know.
Anyway, I'm gonna go home now.
You're gonna go home.
Lose.
Well, I already won the tournament that day. I actually I have the cards too. Because I was back when they would give you stamp promos for league play, and our league got the the first place, second place, third place, fourth place cards, and because they didn't know what to do with them, they just gave them to all of us. Because they had too many. So I'm sitting on a first place, third place, fourth place Greninja from back when Greninja Break was a big deck. I'm just sitting on those, and they're going up in price, so I'm gonna hold them for a little bit longer.
I would do the same thing if I were you.
Yeah, I'm doing that. I found a couple cards that I have that are that I didn't realize I had from back then that have just kind of gone up pretty significantly. But all right, that has been Volcanion. Yeah. We're going to go ahead, guys, and we're going to kick it on over to our mailbag.
It's mail time! Send in your emails! Mail!
Welcome to our mailbag. The mailbag is the part of the show where you can email us at puclpodcast@gmail.com. and send an email about last week's topic or about Pokemon or about anything else that makes you feel happy. We will try to read as many as we can on the show. This week, unfortunately, that's impossible because a lot of you had feelings on starter Pokemon and who should be in the top 5, bottom 5 list.
Don't you mean first partner Pokemon?
Stop it, Seth. Stop it.
No, I do not. I mean starter Pokemon for a reason.
No, I do not, because I do not work for the Pokemon trading, the Pokemon Company International.
Don't you mean first partner?
So we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump right into it. We've got a few emails today, but before we begin, as always, this segment is brought to you by the fictional energy drink Green Tauros, the energy drink that gives you hooves.
Hooves!
Fictional hooves!
And we'll give out the Green Tauros badge to whoever we feel like giving it to. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get into these emails. Our first one this week is going to come to us from Backstein. And I believe you've got this one, Claude.
Yes, I do. Hello, Thatch and the fabulous co-host. The audacity to put Torterra at the bottom astounds me. Did you know, back in Gen 4, it was one of the best competitive Pokemon? No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. Oh no. Okay, so that's a deep cut.
Okay, good.
Because
get your bingo cards.
Yeah, back in the original Puckle episodes, if you actually listen to it's somewhere in the first 5 episodes of Puckle, I say that, but I digress.
I've also definitely noticed there is a bigger love in the community for frogs that I do not share, with Greninja and Venusaur making it into the top.
It has nothing to do with them being frogs, just good Pokemon.
I feel like it does, though.
I think so too. But anyway, all jokes aside, the criteria stated made it far more difficult to find a top and bottom. So here are my top picks in no particular order. Blastoise. All 3 in the line are great design, and they look amazing in Scarlet and Violet. My love for Blastoise is newly found, as I love playing fun decks, and Blastoise EX is just great. And I am yet to use it in a playthrough, though. Anytime I have played Fire Red or Leaf Green, I always use Charizard.
Boo.
Switch it up and try Blastoise. Yeah, Piplup. As explained in previous mailbags...
Change to a superior starter.
Superior starter?
Piplup. As explained in a previous mailbag top 5 water, penguins are one of my favorite animals alive, and the Piplup line is comfortably the best penguins in the game. Yes. Rowlet. The adorable owl is the best base stage starter ever made, and it should be undisputed. I will not agree on that, but that's a different story. The Alolan Decidueye looks amazing and has a cool typing. I do feel the Hisuian version is a downgrade, though, unfortunately. Now for the bottom. Inteleon. Dislike everything about the line. I believe it's one of the worst of the 3 that made up that worst starter trio. I love Cinderace and Rillaboom. I think they're great.
I don't think they're the worst trio, but I definitely think they're not my favorite.
I would agree with that statement. Quaquaval. The animation in game and the dance in battle is so annoying that not even the great promo work and likability of Quaxley can save the day. You're right, Quaxley is much better than the rest of his line and should stay a little tiny penguin, little boy, duck for the rest of his life.
I do enjoy that the mid stage is just named Quaxwell, so I appreciate that naming.
Cool. Superior. I'm sure this is a bit controversial. I'm just not a fan and don't have a good reason. Okay. Incineroar and Rillaboom get an honorable mention for the bottom due to how annoying they are in VGC, especially as a pair. However, I feel the designs are strong and I think they're good starters. Also, Whimsicott was the closest with the evolutions. The top 3 are Leafeon, Sylveon, and Umbreon in that order. This is definitely getting long. Hopefully not too long. Have a great weekend, Backstein.
All right, this next email is going to be from Thomas O'Brien. How's it hanging, Puckle people? I hope you're all ready for the Pandora's box you've opened with this top and bottom 5 list. We knew what we were doing. Okay, we know.
Oh, we know.
My choices are based purely on the final evolutions. Ultimately, that's the Pokemon we spend the most time with anyway. I hope my list doesn't elicit too much rage from everyone. With my top 5, it should be easy to tell which of the starter types I choose every time, at least on my first playthrough. Greninja. Aside from this being my first starter after getting back into Pokemon, I don't feel like this needs much explanation. It's legit my all-time favorite Pokemon. Blastoise. I'm going pure Gen 1 nostalgia with this one. I always wanted Pokemon Blue when I was younger because that's my favorite color. Blastoise has been my guy ever since. Swampert. It has to be one of the best type combinations, and it just looks so cool. Incineroar. Since I started following Pokemon VGC a couple years ago, I've come to see how Incineroar is arguably the best competitive Pokemon. Boo!
How dare you?
Boo!
He deserves some recognition on a list like this. Boo!
Yeah, recognition is in the trash can.
Yeah.
You're correct, but boo!
Rillaboom. Honestly, this is just because I like how he has a drum.
But he doesn't always have the drum.
No, he pulls it out of nowhere. Out of somewhere.
He pulls it out of his back. He's supposed to carry it on his back under his hair or something like that. I promise I didn't make my bottom 5 list with the sole intention of ruffling any feathers, but I figured that was likely to happen. Meganium. No explanations on these, by the way.
I love Meganium.
No explanation.
I love Meganium.
Typhlosion.
Oh no, there is explanation. Keep reading.
For Alligator. I actively despise all the Gen 2 starters. They're all mono-type Pokemon that didn't get me excited and feel overrated. No, this is a bad opinion. Seth?
Preach!
Yep, this is awful.
This is a good opinion.
This is an awful opinion. Mono-type starters can still be exciting.
Not these ones, though.
You know what? He had like 3 of them in his top 5, so it's fine. All right, next up, Venusaur. This is, oh my god. This is mainly because I feel like he got shortchanged with his Mega Evolution and Gigantamax designs. They look significantly less impressive than the ones for Charizard and Blastoise. Well, that's true. He's not punching anybody.
I vehemently disagree with Mega.
Mega Venusaur looks really good, actually. I'm a big fan.
Mega Venusaur be thick, be chonky, and that's all he need to be because he thick and thick fat.
You know what starter didn't need 2 Megas to make it competitively viable?
What points you gained with the Gen 2 comment were lost with the Venusaur comment. You're back to 0.
Superior / Samurott. These just feel like wasted opportunities. You're telling me Emboar gets a dual type, but these 2 don't? What's up with that? Well, because you don't...
Samurott does, though.
You don't always need a dual type to be interesting. Early on, I agree with that. I think nowadays, you need a good reason to not be dual type. Looking at you, Gen 8. But that's about it. I hope I didn't anger anyone too much with my bottom 5.
Boo!
Yeah, just a little bit.
Boo! Enrage! Let's make up for it by saying something I think we can all agree on. Mega Charizard Z will totally be a thing in Pokemon Legends Z to A. Ha ha.
Honestly, though...
Thomas O'Brien. If it happens, I'm going to be sad. Be big sad.
Big upset.
All right, this last email is going to come from Tamal, and you've got this one.
Yeah, I've got this one. So I'll read fast here because there's a lot. And g'day, Puckle. Tamal here.
No, it's just a lot of spaces.
And Tim All here with my top and bottom 5 starter Pokemon. For this list, I'm going by final evolution, and I'm not going by much how I like the Pokemon or how good they are in battle. I'm ranking them by how they would be if you were renting a place to live and they were your housemate. So
This is the appropriate criteria. This is the good criteria.
I love this. All right, I am totally on board for everything that's about to happen.
Top 5. Number 1 being the best. Top 5. Number 5, Superior. A kid from a rich family living out of home for a bit so he can get used to independent life. Although he's constantly receiving care packs from his blue blood family, at least your place has some nice stuff in it because of him. Number 4, Cinderace. A chill guy who just loves playing soccer with his friends. Has practice a few nights of the week, but make sure not to track any mud inside. Always checks with you if it's cool to have some friends around to watch the game, and they're a good bunch of blokes. Number 3, Samurott. Quiet and sticks to his room a lot, but respectful of the shared living space. Really into anime and swords, but only talks to you about it to you if you ask. Works a high-paid IT job and will help you with your computer issues for free.
Really into anime and swords.
I can't fault any of this. This is perfect.
This is the best list.
And swords. This is number 2. This is really funny. Number 2, Quackwaval. Anyone who looks after themselves this much knows what's up. Tells you the best hair care products. Keeps the place immaculately clean. Cooks amazing paella and has the best tea to spill. You don't know what they're gossiping about, but the stories are always hilarious. One day you'll take them up on their offer to come to their dance studio, but you are a little intimidated how good they are.
This is great.
This is perfect.
This is so funny. And number 1, the best roommate, Meganium. She somehow exudes an aura of calm. The place looks good and smells amazing. She looks after all the plants and uses fresh herbs from her garden to turn the most mundane dish into something you'd get at a Michelin star restaurant. She actually loves cooking, so you rarely have to do it. She works a flower shop and always remembers when your anniversary with your partner is approaching and gives you a free bouquet. She makes the house a home. Aww. And now for the worst. Now for the bottom 5, 1 being the worst of them. Number 5, Venusaur. He's the housemate that eats from your section of the fridge or cupboard, drinks your OJ from the carton, and says he'll replace it, but never does. One time you ordered a pizza after a long day at work, and he asked for some, and despite you saying, I'm saving some for leftovers, he took 3 slices after you went to bed. His room has plates of food over 3 weeks old, and roaches have been spotted. Number 4. We've all lived with one of those, right?
Yeah, we have. I might have been one. I don't remember.
Some of us are one of those. Number 4, Primarina. Her singing career is going to take off soon. Honest. She just needs to practice all night, use the hot water, singing in the shower, and you're pretty sure she's doing a bubble bath Twitch streams, but you can't use the bathroom for hours at a time on Thursday nights. Yikes. Number 3, Hisuian Samurott. Ooh. Like Unused Samurott, but got a little too into the whole samurai thing.
Oh my gosh.
He threatens to do something to you can't pronounce if you laugh one more time when you accidentally catch him practicing anime sword moves in the living room. Number 2, Rillaboom. Like Primarina, his band is totally on the verge of fame, but he's a drummer for his awful rock band. He goes to bed at 5 a.m. after rocking all night with his bandmates, Obstagoon, Toxtricity, and X-Ploud, and their version of rocking out involves copious amounts of berry juice from their mate Shuckle and smashing anything made of glass. You've cut your foot at least twice when going to work the next day after getting 30 minutes of sleep. That's
too real.
I love this.
And finally, number 1, Infernape. This guy has issues. There are several holes in the drywall from when his favorite sports team loses their games. He never does the dishes. And when you ask him, he says, hey, I'll arm wrestle you for it, while staring daggers. He's constantly receiving packages that he bought online that he says are just for mad gains, but you're pretty sure it's growth hormone that he doesn't need. Sometimes he'll just square up at you when you're walking past. He has a trashy Lopunny girlfriend, and things tend to mysteriously go missing when she's around. Which Pokemon do you think would make a great or terrible housemate? Cheers, Timol.
I can't do anything better than he has. I can't answer that.
Oh my gosh.
I can't answer that.
All right. Well, I think we've decided Green Toro's badge.
I think we've got our next topic next week. This
is Green Toro's badge here. Yeah, what Pokemon would make a good roommate?
For those listening, this is what we look for in a Green Toro's badge.
This is hilarious.
This is the perfect candidate for Green Tauros. Tamal, you got it. No question asked.
Yeah, oh my god.
Yeah.
I love when people get like a creative spin like this. Oh man, it's great. It's great. All right. Well, if you want to email us next week, you can let us know what Pokemon you think could help fill in those gaps with the types that are missing, or types that are like just fire ice on Zen mode, Galarian, Darmanitan. Please let us know. But yeah, if you want to keep up with us throughout the week, you can keep up with us by going over to our Discord at puclpodcast.com. Additionally, you can follow us at Twitch, which I will try to be on this Thursday, but I have some dinner plans, so I'll be a little late. At twitch.tv/thepuclpodcast. Of course, you can also go ahead and follow us at YouTube, youtube.com/puclpodcast. Additionally, you can follow us over on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever social media platform you like, I guess. You can help to support the show with by supporting our Patreon at patreon.com/puclpodcast. There's going to be a drop of like 3 shows this week, I think, because they're all recorded. I just haven't finished editing them. And I should have some time this week to just sit down, edit them, and plop them all out for you guys. So all of the shows this month are ready to go. Additionally, you can also support us by going to trollandtoad.com and using code PucklePod5 at checkout if you're addicted to cardboard like Seth, Clod, and I. It helps out the show, and we really appreciate it when you do use that code. Without further ado, though, guys, I have been Thatch.
I've been Old Man Seth Vilo.
And I've been Old Man Clod9.
I forgot the bit until right at the end.
Until then, guys, here in the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's closing time.